Hello and good days. I am Stephanie McAuliffe, the Illuminator, coming to you today to talk about being grounded in the insanity. We all know that there is a lot going on in the world, and it may feel like the world is shifting, and there are a lot of shifts that are happening. However, you may also be seeing it differently. Because as we go through this journey of life, we start to look at things from a different lens. Because you've had the opportunity to integrate whatever it is that you've learned. And then you start to look at things from a little bit of a different perspective. And this is where we step into the role of being the observer. And this is something that I've talked about before, where it's almost as if you're sitting in the balcony of a theater and you're watching life happen around you as if it's a play. And some do say that this is a dream. However, we all know that we're here in physical bodies to manifest this life in the multiple lessons that are here for us to experience. One of the things that I'm seeing, though, is that a lot of people seem to be going to either side of the pendulum. And when we know the pendulum swings, and there are those who are really working with this Mars retrograde, Aries energy, and are looking for war and battle and to fight a fight. And then I also see, and there are fights that need to be fought. And then there are others who are over on the other side, who are way up in the clouds and aren't as all grounded. And neither one of those is healthy for a very long time. That there are battles that we're meant to fight, and then we step out of it. You can also almost think of it like being on a roller coaster, whereas you come up to the top of it, and in that ride up, you're integrating what it is that you've learned. And then we come back down ready for another ride, another step into whatever is next for you. However, during that process and all of it, it's really important to be grounded in who you are and to not be pulled too far to either end of the spectrum. Because to be grounded in insanity means that the cortisol levels are constantly flowing through your body. And that leads to disease, and it pulls you into sometimes someone else's battle that may or may not be yours to fight. And having that cortisol running through you all the time is not healthy. And yet being on the other end and of not connected to what's really going on in your world or the world around you isn't healthy as well, because that's when it's almost as if you're in a canoe without paddles. And the tide is bringing you in and out. And that, again, isn't healthy, because then you're still not tethered to anything. And so you may be seeing the world differently. And that can be a good thing, because you may begin to notice that some of the things and some of the people that are around you don't resonate as much anymore. And this is where you almost feel like you're riding back up that roller coaster, because you are seeing shifts and you're leaving behind the things that no longer resonate. So, like I said, while you're on that ride, there are things that you can do to ground yourself. One of them is to go put your bare feet on the ground and really connect with the earth and connect with yourself and ask yourself, what's the most important thing that I can do for myself today? Not what other people want, not other people's fights or arguments. What can you do for yourself today? And then get quiet and listen for the answer. If you can't put your bare feet on the ground because you may live in a city, go out and be in nature. You can go out and be amongst the trees. And just allow yourself. There are studies that have shown that our cortisol levels lower and that our brain waves change when we're out in nature. And then for whatever reason, you may not be able to get out into nature, and this is where you can go find a video or listen to softly gentle, gently flowing water, whether it be a stream or a river, or listening to the waves of an ocean, and whether you just listen or you watch it for a few minutes, this can be incredibly grounding as well. And again, then once you're clear, ask yourself the question, what's the most important thing for me to focus on today? And so any of these things are things that you can do to ground, and you can also meditate. Some people say they're not good at it. This is, whether you're walking in nature or looking at it, is an active way to meditate, to ground yourself and to pull yourself out of the insanity that may be around you. Because like I said, you may at times be pulled one way or the other. It's when you come back to the center and you come back to the center of yourself that you restore yourself to calmness. Give yourself a little bit of quiet. And then you can move about your day in a more peaceful way that is aligned with you. And that's the most important, one of the most important things you can do for yourself, because then you are not reacting to the insanity of the world around you. You are acting out of the connection to yourself. And that is a beautiful thing, my friends. I am Stephanie McAuliffe, the Illuminator, and as always, if you're having a challenge with this, reach out, whether to me or to someone else in your world, because none of us does this alone. I wish you a peaceful day, and I'll see you back here again next week.